Don't worry, you're in the hands of a master storyteller. America has produced only 3 classic writers: Mark Twain, J.D. Salinger, and me.
Faith.
I'm Jonathan Flynn. Everything I write is a masterpiece. And soon, very soon, I shall be known.
This isn't my father's story. Well, it is, but he's not telling it. I am.
Honestly, I think this is the best that Robert De Niro has been in a very long time. I think
so
he's
good.
Incredible.
I know.
And in a strange way, and obviously they're not the same film, but I feel like since he plays a taxi driver with some sort of mental capacities, he's almost coming full circle back around from Taxi Driver.
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, one of the first shots in the film, I think he's in a taxi,
Right.
and you definitely get that image, and then he's so great in the film, and I was so excited, not just to be a part of a film with Robert De Niro and get to have a scene with him, but, I mean, we have some meaty scenes, and I think Bob is doing some of his best work in this film, and we were both super prepared. I think we had fun together. It was really a joy we spent one day, we had a 5-page scene, 12 hours. You leave work, and I spent 12 hours acting with Robert De Niro doing this great scene.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Well, just thinking about the idea of coming full circle, and you have so many great roles you've played. In 40 or 50 years, if you were going to come full circle back around to a character that you've played, which character would you want to come back around to?
Oh, man. That's tough. You know, maybe someday I'll get to do something where I don't, maybe like some kind of, not a silent film like The Artist, but I would like to do something where I don't talk, and, you know, I'd like to do that again at some point.
Right.
So maybe a little, I don't know. All my life, my father has been manifest as an absence.
I think I want to be a writer. Dad's a writer, right?
Ha! You know where that letter was written from?
Prison.
My mom's dead, and my dad I haven't heard from in 18 years. He passed forged checks. I don't know that I ever want to see him again.
But, you know, I thought one of the things that was most interesting is that when you meet your father at the beginning of the film, your perception of him is mainly based on stories that your mother told and letters and everything. So I was wondering, when fans come up to you and fans meet you, from what films are their perceptions most based on you?
That's a weird thing for me when people, you know, There Will Be Blood, for example, I'm not the nicest guy,
Right.
You know, like, so I think sometimes people have a perception of you that is loaded in some way. Definitely Little Miss Sunshine was a film that people enjoyed a lot, so that one, usually people are really excited to talk about, but that's a weird thing for me to negotiate sometimes.
Right.
I'm like, who do you think I am? I'm like
Exactly.
a nice dude, you
Right.
know, like, come on.
Now, you know, you may hate me for asking this, but do people come up and talk about The Girl Next Door? Because I honestly love The Girl Next Door, man.
Absolutely, it's so crazy that, you know, I'm almost 28. I did that when I was 18, and people still I get that a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, and I enjoy it now more than I ever have. I'm like, yeah, The Girl Next
cool.
Door, all right.
I wonder, I kind of picture, though, what kind of people talk to you about There Will Be Blood versus The Girl Next Door? Are they two different types of people?
I had somebody come up to me and say, you were in one of my favorite movies ever made. And he said, I know you think I'm going to say There Will Be Blood, but The Girl Next Door is one of my favorite movies ever. And I'm just, you know.
Yeah, really?
I'm like, okay, all right.
Really?
At this point of the story, I am an upstanding citizen of these United States. I had a disagreement with my scum-sucking landlord.
Shut up!
What I am is an artist.
Some part of me knew he would show up someday.
So what makes you want to work with the homeless?
We catch him on the way down. Next stop, the morgue.
If I stayed in one place long enough, he would find me.
I'd like a room for the evening.
You have been in such great movies with such powerhouse actors. Obviously, Robert De Niro, Daniel Day-Lewis, Alan Arkin. When you play with such classic powerhouse actors like that, do you see any sort of common thread that they all have together?
I think the most common thread is hard work. You see these guys show up really prepared, and they care about what they do, and also their work is effortless. You don't see the acting, and as a young man still trying to get better at what I do each time out, I definitely always try to take something away from them, and I really cherish those experiences getting to work with actors who I admire.
I was raised up.
Pleasure to see you, Nicholas, aside from the circumstances.
I'm doing the same thing here as you are, gathering material.
This is my life.
Life is gathering material.
You You know, I love the film, and there's a great line that really stuck out to me, which is, life is gathering material, which I just thought was such a great line. So I was wondering, what has been a great life experience that you've had that you've ended up bringing to your work?
Well, I think that's my job as an actor every time out, to bring myself to bring as much as me as possible and get as far away from me as possible at the same time, which is sort of a weird thing.
Yeah, I was like, how do you do that?
It's a weird thing to do. But for example, I mean, it's such a beautiful thing that I get to do sometimes, but we went and volunteered at some different shelters in New York to prepare for this film, and that experience as a person changes me, and then it's also important for the work, for this film, and I get to do things like that, you know, all the time for my work, and this experience was really important to me. It definitely changed me.
Right, I'm sure. Well, it's got to make it mean something, because in the film you talk about, you know, you want a job that means something to you, and I would think that would make this profession just, you know.
Yeah, it was to pull up to a park corner and hand out scarves and hats and gloves and socks to people who need it in the winter. It does mean something.
Sure.
It was it was a special experience.
Absolutely. Well, Paul, it's such an honor to talk with you, man. I'm such a huge fan. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, writers, especially poets, are particularly prone to madness.
What good is it to
You are me. I made you.
I am not you.
You are me.
I am not you.
Do you think I'm my father?
I think you need to get some help.
From one writer to another. I don't care how good a writer you are, you can't kill someone with words.
Cheerful stuff.
No one will ever read it.
I just did.
We were put on this earth to help other people, Nicholas. It's a wonderful life. It's a masterpiece.